1,000 years ago, this land was green and good, until the crystal cracked. For a single piece was lost, a shard of the crystal. Then strife began. Welcome to the Pixel Pop Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Toby. This fortnight, I am joined by the mystic Ethan.
Oh, I like that. I want to be a mystic. They're good. Yeah.
And the skexy Lucas. Oh!
Is that even a word? What the fuck is that word?
Yeah,
What?
you're a skexy.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
What's going on?
Just drop the mic.
fucking kidding me?
Just drop the mic.
Don't forget, I'm sick.
You don't know what a
like-
skixy is.
I'm already not operating on full brain power right now.
Dark Crystal, man. Dark Crystal.
I haven't... I was a Labyrinth kid.
Sure,
I
but
don't even-
still.
¿Por
I
qué
think
no
I saw
los dos? Why not both?
Dude, I think I saw Dark Crystal once when I was like 6.
Right, so that was 3 years ago.
Yeah. No,
Anyway, we got a lot of news to get through this fortnight, and welcome back to welcome to 2019, and we're back. And
yes, welcome back to 2019.
Well,
Glad
you
to
know,
see
I've been
you've
traveling
returned.
through time a bit lately, so I get a little lost. And we've got a little bit of Golden Globes to get through that happened just recently, so there's a whole bunch of winners there that we're going to sort of bang through and have a look at. And then
only a few hours ago that's just wrapped up.
Yeah, yep. And then we're going to have a look at a Rotten Tomatoes list I found of some of the most anticipated movies of 2019 and just sort of run through that real quick and have a chat about some of them and hype meters and whatever have you. But before we get into all that nonsense, let's just start with the news. Please take us away, Ethan.
So, to go with Toby's intro, Dark Crystal, we know there is a Dark Crystal Age of Resistance TV show coming to Netflix. Puppets, everything included. The Henson Company's doing puppets again. It's a 10 episode series. I'm extremely excited for this. They finally revealed the three main Gelfling characters, how they look, and also almost the entire voice cast for the show. And it is a highly impressive cast list. So the three main Gelfling characters are voiced by Taron Egerton, who you know from The Kingsman, Anya Taylor-Joy, who is from The Witch and also from Split, soon to be in Glass in a couple weeks, and Nathalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones. You know her as what's her name?
What's her name? Khaleesi's handmaiden, right?
Her. Got her name. So they're the main ones. Then going into Gelfling characters, you have Helen Bonham Carter, Natalie Dormer, Eddie Izzard, Theo James, Toby Jones, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Mark Strong, Alicia Vikander.
Nah, Toby Jones has to be a podling for sure. I mean, look at the dude's face. He's got to be a fucking podling. The potato people he's a potato people.
If they have podlings again in this, it'll be fucking great.
You know who they need to... You know what character has
Gelfling
to be in this, or I'll boycott, and so will other people?
Horror, whatever her name is.
Nah. Fizzgig, man. Fucking
man.
Fizzgig is going to be in this shit.
This is before...
I don't give two fists of a flying fuck, alright?
I mean,
we need the Fizzgig.
We may not get Fizzgig, but we may get an early ancestor to Fizzgig.
Yeah, that's fine. But you need you need one of whatever Fizzgig is, because that thing's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Shut up, Lucas.
Lucas
is just like, the fuck's a Fizzgig?
I'm so sorry.
Is it like a concert for furries?
I can't hold myself back any longer.
Hey, this is like the one time where there's been a movie that Lucas hasn't known that I have, and that Toby's known as well. It's like the one time of like an old movie that I've known.
Congratulations, you've moved out of primary school into high school.
Yes! Finally! To finish off the cast list, the Skeksis and the Mystics, you have Mark Hamill, Jason Isaacs, Keegan-Michael Key, Simon Pegg, and Andy Samberg. With also more voice actors to be announced later on.
That's some names.
So this is an amazing voice cast list for this.
Yeah.
It is just full on.
Yeah. Anyway, cool. Next.
Moving on, we had a trailer for Hellboy. Finally, the new Hellboy reboot with David Harbour as Hellboy and Mila Jovovich as the Blood Queen, which I just thought was good. It seems to be a bit more comedic than Ron Perlman and Guillermo del Toro's take, but also David Harbour.
Let's be fair. I think the Ron Perlman stuff had plenty of humour.
Oh no, it did. But I'm just saying this seems to be a bit more to me.
Okay. It had a lot of darker comedy, and this kind of looks like it could be more dark, if that makes sense.
That's what they said. I think David Harbour said that the movie is a lot darker and won't be as comedic as the other one. That's contrary to what we've seen in the trailers.
Yeah, the first trailer was great.
But yeah, this looks good. It looks to be R-rated as well, which I think they already said it is. So that's different from the others as well.
Yeah, I think they were going hard R with the American release.
Next we have a little bit that came out due to, I think it was the official Marvel site. Loki was mind controlled during the events of the Avengers, which has been a long-standing theory that the Mind Stone has mind controlled him, but now they officially confirmed that the events of Avengers, he was under mind control.
Yeah, so basically Marvel's website under the Disney banner has retconned the Avengers film, saying that Loki was under the influence of the Mind Stone via Thanos. So when Loki falls off the bridge at the end of Thor, he goes wandering through space, and then that's when that's when Thanos finds him, realizes he's broken, and basically manipulates him. So, if anything, that kind of gives him a bit more of a heroic end in Infinity War. And I'm assuming that Infinity Stone retcon is now going to be in Endgame.
Yeah, I'll say it's probably for that. Yeah,
the timing of them, doing that retcon of that event, that whole movie, coinciding with the drop of Endgame, and then also with Loki's TV show coming out, all a little too convenient for my liking.
Moving on, or on the topic of Avengers and whatnot, the Russos have said that the current cut of Endgame is about 3 hours long.
Give it to me!
Which is some hefty shit. That's going to be a long-ass movie. There's a lot of shit to squeeze into that 3 hours. Especially because it's going to be the end of a lot of stuff, so it makes sense.
I really hope they do like a 15-minute intermission at cinema or something. I mean, they probably won't, because
they won't. Nah.
They want to bang people through as fast as they can and make their money, but...
Yeah. Next, we got our first look at the live-action Aladdin.
Yeah,
RIP
2019. RIP 2019.
And we've got Will Smith with his extra long neck looking like fucking Earthworm Jim for some fucking reason.
Holy shit, I never even thought of that till you mentioned it. Now I can't unsee it.
Look at his neck, look how long that fucking thing is.
Oh, that is horrific. That's not a bit
Earthworm Genie, that's what that fucking is. And people are like, why does he look like Will Smith, and why is he not blue like classic Genie? Well, Will Smith has said that he will be blue for majority of the movie. This is just his disguise when he wants to hang around humans. Yeah. But in all, this just looks like shit, so we'll just move on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Next, we had the Alien Instagram has been teasing something over the past month that no one quite knows what it is.
Yeah, it's been all over the place.
There's been a rumored game called Alien Blackout, but in this, there's Toby posted this before. It says, while Alien Blackout is likely the next video game fans will see, there seem to be other Alien projects coming soon as well. An Alien TV show has supposedly been picked up by an unnamed streaming service, which was rumored a while back. I think we spoke about it on a previous podcast quite a while back. Says although little other information has been made publicly about it. And with 2019 marking the 40th anniversary of the original Alien, a documentary called Memory: The Origins of Alien is also set to be released this year. As for the film side of Alien franchise, it's still a big question whether the third film in Scott's prequel trilogy will be made or not.
Nah, fuck off.
And I really want it to.
But the recent stuff on that Instagram, from what I'm seeing, it really looks like it's hinting at possibly a sequel to Isolation, this Blackout game. Because it seems to feature Amanda Ripley, and she was... Well, I mean, she's mentioned and shown in the Aliens Extended Edition. The character you play in Isolation, and I think that's what a lot of this is gearing toward, or at least some of this is gearing towards.
Wait, unless we get a sequel to Colonial Marines, it isn't shit.
Maybe.
Good luck.
Nah, that would fucking
But I mean, Isolation was the first Aliens game that did particularly well in a while.
I think the last one was that AVP game they did. I think that one did okay.
A long time ago.
The PvP one, yeah.
Isolation tend to do really well across all platforms, so I imagine they're keen to sort of follow it up. Yeah, anyway. I think there's a comic book coming to... I'm sure I read somewhere that they're doing a new comic book series as well, so there's a whole shitload of Alien stuff coming our way, which will keep people happy.
Next we have Holmes and Watson, which came out on Boxing Day here in Australia. Apparently it's so bad it's causing people to walk out of the cinema.
Yep.
Big oof.
Yeah.
Yep. It was 0% for a while on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not good.
I'm seeing now what it's at and what it's made.
It hasn't made a lot.
It's doing
No, it hasn't even made its budget. It was $42 million budget. It's made $35.5 million.
Yeah, and rumor was they were, before it went to cinema, the producers or whatever were trying to dump it on Netflix for a couple of bucks because they obviously figured it was going to flop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Next we have Danny DeVito has joined Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle sequel.
Good on you, Danny.
Which is supposed to come out Christmas this year. They haven't even started filming it yet.
What?
So I've got no idea what the fuck's going on.
Christmas this year?
Yeah, that they wanted it to compete with Star Wars.
Fuck off.
Wow, that's going to be a rush job.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but...
Fuck off. Nothing is going to compare with fucking Star Wars. Like, that's just a way to damn your movie. Like, trying to put something up against something like fucking Star Wars.
No, because Last Jedi and the last one came out at the same time. And Jumanji made over $1 billion, and so did Star Wars.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that don't want to see Star Wars, that are still looking for a Christmas film.
Yeah.
There is. I know you don't believe me, but there's a lot of people who don't like Star Wars.
I refuse to believe that.
Next, we had a release date announcement as well as a little teaser trailer for Punisher Season 2. Which will be dropping on January 18th. Now, here's
here's what's going to happen. Me and Ethan are going to stop talking for a minute, and then you're just going to hear the dulcet sounds of Toby ejaculating everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just going to make sex noises.
I mean, for the podcast, and Glass comes out a day before that as well, so that's a good fucking week.
Yeah, man, I was talking to Ethan about this the other day. So it's Titans is out on the 11th.
This Friday.
And then on Netflix, and then The Punisher is out the following Friday. Glass is out the day before. That whole week is going to be crazy.
Have you seen this Net Punisher snippet, Lucas?
Absolutely not. I'm staying away from everything because I think I already know too much, and I honestly don't want to know anymore.
Boy. Jigsaw's is just going to lose. Like, he's gone fucking mental. Looking good.
Did you see that meme that's going around and it says Punisher cancels Netflix?
Yeah, fair. Actually, and that was something that came up in discussion too. I noticed it nothing official. It was just people talking online as they do. But someone did bring up that the Punisher spin-off was not a part of the original agreement with Marvel, and that it may not fall under the sort of same restrictions or whatever else is in place as Daredevil and all the rest of it. So, I mean, it's wishful thinking. It's wishful thinking, but there's a slim chance that we might see a continuation of Punisher. God, I hope so, because it's. I mean, Bernthal was just made for that role. Anyway, that's enough drooling. Next fortnight, you'll just get 2 hours of sex noises.
Yeah, that's you won't need us at all, and that'll probably be our most lowest viewed episode too,
or our highest.
Staggering 0
Depends
viewers.
if I include video.
Our highest.
If we pre-advertise that it's literally going to be 2 hours of Ethan,
sex noises.
Toby making sex noises, that's going to be the fucking GOAT episode of this whole thing.
Right? Okay, moving on.
We have a trailer for Arctic, which Toby shared.
Yeah, I don't know if I caught my eye.
I've heard of this because it's directed by Joe Penner, who used to be known as Mystery Guitar Man on YouTube. He was big back like 10 years ago on YouTube.
Right. It stars Mads Mikkelsen.
Directed.
And Mads is another one of those actors where like 80% of his stuff is really, really good, and then 20% is just fucking horrible. And I'm hoping this is one of the, because he likes to do some weird shit too. Like you've seen that one where he's a Viking.
He's doing Death Stranding. That's weird as fuck.
Yeah, he loves weird shit. But yeah, I mean, this is a survival film, but it looks pretty good. So probably not a cinema watch for me, but I'll definitely. It's the sort of thing that when I see it appear on a streaming main menu, I'll be like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna watch that. So yeah, check out the trailer. It looks good. All right, well, there was a few little snippets on the Watchmen Instagram. I don't know if you saw that. There was like a.
It wasn't just that. They also HBO released like a little sizzle reel of all the new shows coming out this year. That was included on there. So a small little look at Game of Thrones. We had a quick little snippet of that next season.
Yeah, True Detective, Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies, and then there's like the title cards of a whole bunch of other series they've got coming out this year.
Yeah, there was one.
They're working on a fucking lot.
Yeah,
Some good sounding stuff too.
I truly didn't realize how much stuff that HBO had in the pipeline until I saw that.
Yeah. And it was just for a laugh, to tie in with the 30th anniversary of Die Hard, they released a trailer recut as if it was a Christmas movie from the 80s. And it's
Bitch, it is a fucking Christmas movie.
It is hilarious, and we'll include
Shut
that
up.
trailer in. It is, and we'll put that in
Here's
the article.
here's
so you
one
can
thing
watch
that
it.
I'm gonna say, like about HBO's TV shows they're doing. There's one called Lovecraft Country, which is Jordan Peele, J.J. Abrams behind it all, and apparently it says it's based on a book about Atticus Black on a nightmarish and racially charged trip through 1950s Middle America. But it also includes Lovecraft monsters and stuff like that in the book as well, which no doubt will be in the show too. So they're working on that. Watchmen. They've got another one called Demi Mondi, which is a sci-fi fantasy from J.J. Abrams. His Dark Material is based off books, Northern Lights, Golden Compass, all that sort of ones. That's already filmed. That's already been done for a second season as well, before the first one's even out. They Game of Thrones spin-off as well. A new one called The Nevers, which is about Victorian age women who've got like superpowers, done by Joss Whedon. The Outsider, based off the Stephen King book. They're doing a show on that.
The serious killer.
Yeah, because I just get axed. Alright, so that's it for news. Thank you, Ethan. We're going to hand it over to Lucas now, who's going to smash us through the Golden Globe, winners that happened just a few hours ago. And see if there's any controversy or excitement there. So lay it on us.
Oh, man. So there actually is a ton of controversy about what won Best Picture. In a lot of news that seemingly has surprised everyone. A Star is Born did not win, but Bohemian Rhapsody did.
That's for drama.
For drama, yeah.
For best drama. Which is really funny because the way that they normally do it is that it's musical or comedy, right? Two movies, this is my opinion. Bohemian Rhapsody and A Star is Born should have been in the musical or comedy because they both, they're not traditional musicals. They have a ton of music that influences the plot of the film, which to me would technically make it a musical. But Bohemian Rhapsody did not do well with critics. Meanwhile, A Star is Born was like a critical darling. Yet Bohemian Rhapsody won Best Picture. A lot of people are pissed off. And then as well, to kind of to pile on to that, IGN preemptively announced Black Panther as the winner. And a lot of people are pissed off. There's an image going around of IGN sharing the thing of saying, congratulations on Black Panther winning Best Picture. And then basically, it's Moonlight all over again. In saying that, though, I don't think there's any surprise that Rami Malek won Best Actor in a Drama for Bohemian Rhapsody. As good as Rami was, I actually really liked John David Washington in Black Klansman. He was really good. Glenn Close won for The Wife in Best Motion Picture Drama Actress. Completely fucked all those words up. But again, she beat Lady Gaga, Nicole Kidman, Rosamund Pike, Melissa McCarthy, who all of those actresses were getting a ton of top praise. Next one is Best Motion Picture Comedy, was won by Green Book. By the sounds of it, this was the movie that surprised a lot of people because it was up against Vice, which is the Dick Cheney movie, Mary Poppins Returns, Crazy Rich Asians, and The Favourite, which all of those movies, again, Crazy Rich Asians got a ton of positive feedback from critics. It made a ton of money at the box office. That, to me, should have been the winner, just from a lot of things that I've heard, but yeah, Green Book went away with that one. Best Actress in a Motion Picture went to Olivia Colman.
The Kaminsky Method, which is a Netflix series starring Michael Douglas, that won Best Television Series.
Yeah, it sure did. That's the next one I was going to get to. It actually beat out Kidding, which was the Jim Carrey one.
Oh, yeah.
Best Limited Series was won by The Assassination of Gianni Versace, which is the American Crime Story. Last year they did the O.J. Simpson miniseries. It's the same guys that do American Horror Story and Glee and all that. There was a bit of a controversy as well around Alfonso Cuarón. So he won two awards. One for Best Motion Picture in a Foreign Language for Roma, and the other one was Best Director, which he won over Bradley. Again, he won over Bradley Cooper, Adam McKay, Spike Lee, Peter Farrelly, some top guys. And Alfonso Cuarón is a legend in directing, but a few of his post-win comments have kind of gone a bit viral because he got asked a question relating to his project. So Roma was released on Netflix a week after it debuted in cinemas. And someone asked him, basically, was he going to be responsible for the death of independent cinema? And he absolutely ripped into this director. And I don't have everything that he said, but definitely very interesting, his take on the art of filmmaking, whether or not you should go to a cinema and see it, or whether you should just wait till it comes onto Netflix. And then back to Assassination of Gianni Versace as well. Darren Criss, he led that series, got a ton of praise. And he won Best Actor for a Limited Series over guys like Antonio Banderas, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Hugh Grant. Christian Bale won for his portrayal of Dick Cheney over a ton of really talented actors as well. Robert Redford, John C. Reilly, Viggo Mortensen, and Lin-Manuel Miranda. Patricia Clarkson won for a Best Supporting Role in a Series, Limited Series, for her role in Sharp Objects, which was the show with Amy Adams that she did. There's tons of stuff here. Green Book won quite a number of awards. I think The Star Is Born, only out of like the 8 awards it was nominated for, it only won 1, which was the Best Original Song, which is the song that Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga sing at the end.
Best Motion Picture Animated, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse won it.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest takeaway was that Into the Spider-Verse won, like a comic book movie basically won a Golden Globe, which I think is the first time it's ever happened, right?
Yeah.
So even though it's animated, we'll still take it.
Yeah.
Richard Madden, who was on Game of Thrones, also won for the TV show Bodyguard, which if you haven't watched that, holy shit, go and watch it. It is intense.
Alright, so with the time we've got left, I wanted to run through this list of, I believe it's the 64 most anticipated movies of 2019, as told by Rotten Tomatoes. They're a fairly reputable site, so I figured that we could trust them. And I thought we would just be like, it's really just hypermeter from us, I guess, on whether it's oh boy at the cinema or $2 in the DVD bin, right?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I actually had a bit of a read of this list before we came in and to do this, and I did not realize how many good fucking movies are coming out.
This year. That's the thing. That's
It
kind of why I
is
wanted to do it.
crazy.
This is a good year. Okay, so let's start with January, The Upside, directed by Neil Berger, starring Bryan Cranston, Kevin Hart, Nicole Kidman. Yeah. It's a remake of the French hit The Intouchables, apparently. Feel-good drama about an ex-con, blah, blah, blah. Not our kind of film. But someone
I
might
like Bryan Cranston, but
Yeah.
That's a weird... So just looking at the 3 main cast, Bryan Cranston, Kevin Hart, and Nicole Kidman.
Yep.
What a fucking hodgepodge of actors.
Next on the list is Glass. I don't think I need to say anything about that. You guys...
What's that one? I don't know.
Never heard of that one? Yeah, okay.
No, never heard of it.
Yeah, Hypermeter is 11 out of 10 for you two.
oh yeah.
So I imagine you've already got your tickets booked.
No, I don't.
You should probably get on that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't like... I think the only people that are really going to be going to see Glass are the ones that, loved Split and loved Unbreakable, which is me and Ethan.
Yeah.
The next film on this list will make some people get excited until they realise it's not what they think it is, and that's Serenity.
Yeah. Nah.
Nothing to do with the TV series.
Yeah.
Directed by Stephen Knight, starring
I saw
Matthew
the title and I
McConaughey.
nearly pissed my pants.
Right. Anne Hathaway. She's always been a honey. Jason Clarke, Diane Lane. Interstellar co-stars come back for some shit. Blah, blah, blah. Something about... it sounds like a love story kind of drama.
Yeah.
Husbands, ex-wives...
This is the first I'm hearing. Again, this is another one of the first I'm hearing about this movie, and
Yeah, I mean, the cast sounds pretty... Yeah, cast sounds pretty good. Alright, in February, a film that probably shouldn't have been made, and that's What Men Want. Directed by Adam Shankman, starring some people. And
When do we ever get that?
It's a gender swap take on the Mel Gibson comedy What Men Want.
What
Less said about
women
that,
want.
the better, really.
Yeah.
The Lego Movie number 2, the second part. Directed by Mike Mitchell, Trisha Gum, starring Chris Pratt, Elizabeth Banks, Channing Tatum, Will Arnett, and Tiffany Haddish.
I'm not overly excited for it. I mean, the first one was good.
Everything is awesome.
Dude, the first one was awesome.
It was good.
It'll be alright. It'll be a home
what
release,
I'm
I
gonna
think, for a
say.
lot of people, but it's
Yeah,
coming out
it'll be
in
coming
because
in.
it's coming out like Feb 8th.
Yeah.
I imagine these are
Not
American
here, though.
releases. Yeah, these will be American releases, but
Yeah.
it's
So when the first Lego movie came out, it came out in the February. Same with the Lego Batman, because that pissed a lot of people off.
it's outside of school holidays. That's the problem.
Yeah, so what they did is they pushed it to the same time as I know with the first Lego movie they pushed it to the same time as Winter Soldier, which was around that Easter time,
Yeah,
and it pissed a lot of people off because it was a 3 month. It was 3 months, so everyone over here was hearing about all this. This fucking Lego movie is amazing, and we had to wait 3 months to get it.
Alita Battle Angel, directed by Robert Rodriguez, starring Rosa Salazar, Jennifer Connelly, Christopher Waltz, Ed Skrein, Michelle Rodriguez.
I'm on the fence for this one. Michelle Rodriguez? What?
Yep.
Yeah, she's in it.
coming out Valentine's Day 2019. So there'll be a lot of people probably obviously familiar with the anime and manga and stuff that'll be skeptical of this. I guess we'll see how we go. Happy Death Day to you.
I like the first one. I'm actually excited for this. This will be good.
Yeah. I think I might have seen the original, but it's nothing I'd get too excited about.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World.
That's already come out here. I've already seen it.
Yeah,
it doesn't come out until America until 22nd. We got it fucking almost 2 months before.
Yeah. I know people
that
saw it just recently.
Obviously, because Brandy has a lot of American friends and family. A lot of them over in the States, a lot of them are pissed off that we've already seen it. And they have to wait until end of February to see it. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Pushing into March, Chaos Walking, directed by Doug Liman, starring Tom Holland, who we know now as Spider-Man, Daisy Ridley, Mads Mikkelsen, yay Mads, Demian Bichir, David Oyelowo, and Cynthia Erivo.
Doug Liman, fuck yeah.
It's a YA novel.
Young adult.
Thank you. Don't sound so retarded now. Okay, so it's a teeny movie. Young man living in a colony on another planet who believes all women have been killed by a virus until he meets a mysterious girl. Right, shit, next. Just don't.
The big one.
I'm just. You know, the biggest thing that fucks me with these teen films is the psychology of it. It's just. They take human psychology, scrunch it into a little ball and throw it out the window and call it science fiction. And people just don't work that way. They don't. One that we're all on board for, though, is Captain Marvel. And,
what's that?
What that? New phone.
I thought this was coming out in February.
Nah.
March 8th.
Fuck. I was
March
wrong.
8th.
I thought this was like 20th of February. Fucking hell.
Nah.
Well, that's what we got here anyway.
No,
I'm
that's
looking now,
That's what happened with Black Panther last year. So Black Panther come out, I think we got it about a week and a bit before.
Yeah,
but we literally got it in that last week of February, and then the March release was in the States.
This one will be getting some interest, I'm sure, as we draw closer to it, the date, and that's Us from Jordan Peele.
I watched a trailer for that the other day. Holy shit, does that look good and intense.
So this is a follow-up. I don't think it's a direct sequel, but it's a follow-up from the same
It's
writer
not
and director from who did
It
Get
has
Out.
nothing to do with Get Out.
Yeah.
But
it's a thriller.
It looks good. It looks good.
Have you seen the theory crafting that's been going on Twitter about it?
I've seen some,
It's fucking crazy, man. Like, for those that haven't seen it, I think this is one we definitely have to put in the article. But there is a ton of like stuff on Twitter about I can't even really say it without spoiling the trailer, which to me sounds like an insane concept that you could spoil a trailer. But there are certain things that happen in the trailer involving a pair of scissors and the main characters. That a lot of it is very much about trying to leave your past behind. That's all I can really say. But man, there's off a 2-minute trailer, there's been a ton of theory crafting, more so than any Marvel film I've ever seen. Which is showing that, Jordan Peele can write these absolutely incredible films and get people talking. And to me, Jordan Peele's got a fucking future.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So two maybe not as well known. Greyhound, directed by Aaron Schneider, starring Tom Hanks, Elizabeth Shue, Stephen Graham, and Lee Norris. Looks to be about German U-boats and a naval shipyard. The naval ship Greyhound, which was pursued by German U-boats across the Atlantic Ocean with 36 other Allied ships. I don't mind a World War II flick, but I'll probably again wait till a home release. Where'd You Go, Bernadette, directed by Richard Linklater, starring Cate Blanchett, Billy Crudup, Kristen Wiig, Judy Greer, and Lawrence Fishburne. Based on the novel of the same name, miserable mother who suddenly goes missing, prompting her teen daughter to figure out what happened.
Richard Linklater has a fantastic body of work. So even though this is one that's kind of slipped by slipped by me as that I've never heard of it before. Purely just from him directing makes me very intrigued to see what it's about.
Yeah, it'd be something I'd probably throw on Netflix one night, to be honest.
Yeah,
Dumbo,
sure.
Tim Burton, Colin Farrell, Evil Green, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito. You're gonna love it or hate it, really. I don't think
I'll home media that one. I'm not gonna run to the cinemas for that.
You were initially super keen for this, if I wasn't mistaken.
I'm keen for it, but I'm not theatre keen for it.
Okay. CG's looking very good.
Yeah.
It's Tim Burton, so I'm definitely not seeing it.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Overrated
April.
hat.
The fuck?
Overrated hack.
Let's not go down this path. Alright, so April. Shazam! David F. Sandberg, Zachary Levi, Mark Strong, Asher Angel. I think it looks really good. I'm keen. Not sure if I'll go see it at the cinema.
I'm still not sold
keen.
on it yet at all.
Yeah. April's just amazing, because then we got Pet Sematary, which we saw the first trailer for. That looks alright.
Jason Clarke again and John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Yep.
The trailer for this is fucking wild. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It looks really good.
Then Hellboy, Neil Marshall, David Harbour, Mila Jovovich, Ian McShane. We spoke about that earlier, so that's looking good. I'm kind of a little sad that Ron Perlman's gone, but at the same time I like David Harbour, so I'm happy to see him in the role. They too do look quite similar in many regards too. The Curse of La Llorona, directed by Michael Chavez, starring Linda Cardellini, Sean Patrick Thomas, Patricia Velasquez.
It's called The Curse of La Llorona, but here in Australia it's called The Curse of the Screaming Lady or something like that. I saw the poster for it at Event Cinemas. I'm thinking, like, that's not the same movie, is it? But it is. Yeah, it's called The Curse of the Screaming Woman or Curse of the Wailing Woman, but I think they changed the title here in Australia because we probably don't have a large Latin demographic, so having a movie called The Curse of La Llorona, it may not get people in the seats, thinking it could be a foreign movie and not English speaking.
Sure.
So they had to change the title.
Kind of like Philosopher's Stone, right? Because, large portions of the country are illiterate, so we have to change it. Rough. Burn.
Yeah.
So, a widowed social worker who finds striking and terrifying parallels between what's happening to a family she is investigating and the strange occurrences hurting her own. Yeah, that's a Netflixy for me. Under the Silver Lake, which apparently has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 54% already. Directed by David Robert Mitchell, starring Andrew Garfield, Riley Keough, and Topher Grace. Right.
Okay.
Horror sleep, right? Yep. Sophomore, right? Andrew Garfield. I like Andrew Garfield, so...
Yeah.
He's a man who embarks on a quest through Los Angeles to find a mysterious woman who suddenly disappeared after the two of them shared a brief encounter. Right. Originally slated for late 2018, was moved back several months. Right. Okay, so he had a one-night shag and then realised he was in love. Okay, cool. Avengers Endgame. Shit. Wouldn't see it if you
What's
did.
that?
Who cares about that? Yeah.
Rubbish. Alright, May. Ugly Dolls. What the fuck?
They're making a fucking movie on it.
What the fuck is an ugly doll?
It's a plush toy type thing.
Fucking Nick Jonas is in it, I'm in!
Fuck off.
Blake Shelton, oh hell yeah.
Fuck off.
Janelle Monáe,
Fuck off.
To be fair, Janelle Monáe
Fuck off! Fuck off!
Kelly
Janelle
Clarkson,
Monáe is amazing.
Emma Roberts, opening on May 3rd. Fuck Endgame, I'm watching this shit.
Right.
Yeah, fuck this. I'm not seeing the next one you're about to talk about. I'm gonna go see this instead.
Yeah.
Absolutely no interest once I heard that there's an Ugly Dolls movie coming.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Rob Letterman, Ryan Reynolds,
no one
Justin
wants
Smith.
to watch it. No.
We've spoken about it. You guys will go see it for sure.
Yeah. I'll probably go see it, yeah.
This is interesting because it's just so fucking vague. The Rosie Project, directed by Not Applicable, starring Ryan Reynolds, rumoured, opening on May 10, 2019. Rumoured. Okay, sounds like a romantic drama, but details are pretty sketchy. But it's got obviously a green lit and a date. Okay, neato. John Wick Chapter 3.
Mess, carry on.
No.
No. And it's actually coming to Australia on that day now, and we're not getting it like 2 months later.
6 months later, like the last two we fucking
I mean,
did.
we all kind of know how this is going, right? He's just going to kill the entire criminal underworld, like globally, right?
Well, yeah, because they said that this movie's going to have a higher death count than John Wick 2, and John Wick 2 is a fucking slaughterhouse.
Yeah, so he's just going to kill everyone in the criminal underworld. I'm looking forward to it. Alright, after that, Rocketman!
Taron Egerton as Elton John.
Yep. So this will be interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting, too, is going to be directed by Dexter Fletcher, because this was originally, I think, directed by Bryan Singer.
No, I think you can confuse the Bryan Singer to Bohemian Rhapsody.
So what was the one where Dexter Fletcher came in and finished it? Was that Bohemian Rhapsody? There was a movie that Dexter Fletcher was in. Was it Lock, Stock?
Yeah, by Bohemian Rhapsody. He came in and replaced him for that.
Was it Bohemian Rhapsody? Yeah. Okay, so I just got my musical biopics mixed up. He was in Lock, Stock. He was Soap in Lock, Stock.
I've never seen it.
Oh my god, dude!
It's another one of those movies I keep getting told to watch, and I'm like, no.
Lock, Stock is really good.
Alright, moving on. Ad Astra. Directed by James Gray, starring Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, Ruth Nigger, can I say that? That's rude.
Nigger.
Donald Sutherland. What can we say? Takes the outer reaches of space and tells the story of an engineer who embarks on a fantastic voyage in pursuit of his father. Okay, so Tommy Lee Jones is Brad Pitt's father in this. He took a one-way trip to Neptune 20 years prior.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this, but just a little...
Yeah, and then Aladdin, directed by Guy Ritchie, starring Will Smith, Naomi Scott, Nazim Pedrad, and Mina Massoud. Yeah, well, yeah.
We've talked at length about this.
Followed by one that we've also talked about at length. I don't know if the hypermeter.
But we're going to continue to talk about it at length.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Michael Dougherty,
my God.
Millie Bobby Brown, etc., etc. Yeah, that'll be shit, and we'll hard pass that piece of junk.
You fuck up. You fuck up.
Coming to June, we've got Flasky, directed by Jonathan.
I wasn't done.
Take care. Starring Seth Rogen, Charlize Theron,
yeah, we have to sit through
Skarsgård.
30 minutes of Toby ejaculating over the Punisher.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, because I edit this shit. Bob Odenkirk, Andy Serkis, O'Shea Jackson Jr.
That's a big cast.
Yeah, right. Seth Rogen stars as an unemployed journalist who attempts to woo his childhood babysitter, powerful political figure played by Charlize Theron, Alexander Skarsgård, blah, 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 round out a star-studded cast. Doesn't say too much about it, but it sounds like a romantic comedy. Secret Life of Pets 2.
Skip.
Why?
No one cares.
Dark Phoenix. Here's one we're interested in. Simon Kinberg, starring Sophie
We're
Turner,
interested in
James
it, but it
McAvoy.
sounds like no one else's.
I think it'll be good.
No. I've seen a whole
see.
bunch of shit on on Twitter. People just being like, "Who the fuck cares about this movie anymore?"
Yeah, I think people stopped caring because now Marvel is going to have the rights soon, and it's like, why even put a movie together if you know you're going to be bored?
Exactly.
Fair enough. Men in Black International, directed by
This looks good.
Gary Gray, Tessa Thompson, Chris Hemsworth, Liam Neeson. I was never
I'm really-
a big fan of Men in Black, and this feels like a bit of a name cash-in. Like, we're running off the Thor 3 hype here with Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson.
What's wrong
Dude,
with
I'm
that?
so keen for Thor 4.
Like, just do Thor 4. Like, why do this? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not expecting this to do particularly well.
Oh, I think
Nah,
it'll do well.
Yeah, well.
I think it'll do well. Like, having the name recognition of obviously having Chris Hemsworth as well as Liam Neeson. And then obviously Tessa Thompson is starting to really get up there, and this is a perfect vehicle for her to lead. And obviously teaming back up and doing more comedic stuff with Chris Hemsworth. Like, they were great in Ragnarok.
Agreed, but I'm not too keen to see it again.
Oh, dude, I am. I'd gladly
that's
see
fine.
more movies with the two of them. For sure.
Shaft, directed by Tim Story, starring the original one and only Sam Jackson, Alexandra
cares?
Shipp, Regina Hall. Well, a lot of people are going to care. So
Nah.
the problem is,
a lot of people are gonna care, but not when we care about fucking Godzilla. You want to skip past that? Fucking hold up.
The problem here is if it could easily they need to avoid it being like a Blues Brothers 2000. You know what I mean? Like, they have to be careful. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Like,
God.
Blues Brothers was
Yeah.
amazing. Blues Brothers 2000. Why? This needs to be like that. Like, it needs to be done properly.
I think Shaft will do fine. I think this will...
it's got Sam Jackson as Shaft, so I think it'll do fine too. But still,
Yeah. And then
just,
as well,
just don't camp it up. Don't cliche it up.
they've also got Tim Story working on it too, and he's had a really good run of movies the past few years. So,
Yeah.
Granted, he did do the two Fantastic Four movies, but apart from that, he's done a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. This would be an interesting one, this next one, because I thought we sort of rounded out the trilogy really well, but
So did I.
guess not. Directed by Josh Cooley, Toy Story 4, starring Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Annie Potts, and Laurie Metcalf. I don't know why. I mean, I think a lot of people were happy with the ending of the third one. The toys were handed on. That was the end of the saga, and thank you very much.
Dude, I'll be honest.
It was, yeah.
If they want to give us more Toy Story, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought, what, maybe this is going to be like an attempt at a hand-me-down story where we're going to see a new cast of toys come in. I don't know.
Possible.
Yeah, it could very well be the case.
So they can sort of do another trilogy. Grudge. Why? It's a remake,
of the
American
remake.
remake.
Of Japanese.
Stop now, please. 47 meters down, uncaged, directed by Johannes Roberts. What's more terrifying than being 47 meters below sea level? I don't know. Watching a really bad movie, being just that little bit deeper. This sequel to 47 meters down follows a group of adventurous backpackers who go diving to explore an underwater city and end up perfectly safe and fine. Just kidding, things get bitey. How is this in the... No. No. No.
Now, this next one, I haven't heard of this one at all.
Right? Okay, Ford versus Ferrari, directed by James Mangold, starring Christian Bale, Matt Damon, John Bernthal, and Catriona Balfe. James Mangold directs this based on true events sports drama about American motor company Ford's effort to build a race-worthy car to rival and hopefully defeat the Ferrari team at the 1966 24 Hours Le Mans race. But that cast, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
July, untitled Annabelle sequel. Stop,
Fucking
guys.
hot.
Stop, guys.
No.
Guys, stop.
No.
Stop.
You shut up.
Nah,
Shut
enough's
up.
enough.
I'll
Enough's
be
enough.
okay. So I'm not really a big fan of like the whole thing of doing spin-offs of like main series stuff, but from what I've heard, the Annabelle films are really good, and as well, they're also spinning them off the Conjuring universe, which the Conjuring films have also been excellent. So far, I think the only bad thing that I've heard out of that entire universe was The Nun, which I know that Ethan saw.
Yeah,
and said
they got some amazingly bad reviews.
lit
But
dog
also,
shit.
Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are back in the Untitled Annabelle 3 as well.
Oh, that could
Yeah,
be
they're back for it. Because it's pretty much going to be Annabelle's in their homes. It's going to be not at the museum, but with all the stuff they have in their little, like, ghost museum thing they have in their house.
Have I don't know. So I haven't seen either of the Annabelle movies. I've just heard that they're really good. But has there been a movie where they've actually is the movie where they get the doll?
Sort of, not really.
The first one, I think, briefly shows.
It's super brief.
The Conjuring showed them with it anyway, how they got it anyway, the first one.
Yeah,
The
but
first one
it was blink and you miss. Like
Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
very quick. I want to see a whole movie of them like going after the doll and trying to stop it, basically.
Alright, now we're getting into some more juicy stuff again. Spider-Man Far From Home. John Watts, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jake Gyllenhaal, Marisa Tomei, Michael Keaton. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's that? Don't know. Yep, should be
Oh,
good.
yeah. Sorry.
Lion King, John Favreau, Donald Glover, Beyonce Knowles, Seth Rogen. I can't even pronounce that. James L. Jones.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Exactly. Yeah, thanks. And Alfred Woodard.
Baron Mordo.
This will be interesting.
I like the idea of calling it a live action movie when it's all CGI.
Right. So it's just animated again.
But yeah, I think this is going to be really good. That first little teaser that we got of them doing the opening scene from the animated movie, all redone, I thought it all looked phenomenal. So, and then obviously Donald Glover on as the lead with Beyonce and Seth Rogen and that. I think the casting is phenomenal. I think it has no what's the word I'm looking for? It has no reason that this should fail.
Speaking of films that shouldn't fail, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino and starring the entirety of Hollywood.
That
Yes,
will not fail.
please.
It just has everybody in it.
Please.
Pretty sure everybody's in it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so excited for this movie.
But Leonardo
and then
DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Al Pacino, Dakota Fanning, and James Marsden are listed here, but I know there's more. It's just chockers.
Oh, yeah.
And then, funnily enough, I actually saw this afternoon. There was another version of this movie that's been made with Hilary Duff in it.
What?
Have you heard of it? Yeah, so someone has tried to beat Quentin Tarantino to market and made a Sharon Tate movie.
The fuck?
Yeah, Hilary Duff plays Sharon Tate, and it looks fucking awful.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that shit. It's sort of like Skyline, they try and rush like something to Netflix before the cinema equivalent comes out. It's like the Chinese knockoff of the video game before the AAA game releases.
Well, there was always a company called The Asylum who always made knockoffs of big budget movies. Like they
made Skyline,
Transformers,
didn't they?
they had Transmorphers. No.
I think Asylum had a hand in Sharknado too.
Yeah, they did. They also did when the Avengers come out, they did Avengers Grimm. So all the
Ethan
Grimm
has them
fairy tales.
bookmarked because he just watches all their stuff.
I just know this, okay? I know a lot of shit information.
He's on their email list.
I mean, for Infinity War, they did Avengers Grimm, and they all went back in time and changed a whole bunch of shit and all this. They're always fucking terrible.
How do you even know this much?
Because I'm a fucking idiot, and I just get bored.
And you're on their email list, aren't you? You're on their email list.
No. Fuck off.
All right.
I'm actually looking through the cast list of this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I hadn't seen the full list, but I obviously knew that DiCaprio and Pitt, Margot Robbie, and that were in it. But Damian Lewis from Homeland, Luke Perry, Emile Hirsch, Dakota Fanning, Clifton Collins Jr., Nick Hammond, Al Pacino, Scoot McNairy, Mike Moe, Lena Dunham, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Damien Harriman, he's actually Australian, and he's going to be playing Charles Manson.
He's also playing Charles Manson in Mindhunter Season 2 as well.
He sure is. I was actually about to bring that up.
We spoke to that in the podcast previously.
Rumor Willis, which is Bruce Willis's daughter. Zoe Bell, who's obviously a long-time Quentin Tarantino collaborator. Bruce Dern, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, Kurt Russell, Timothy Olyphant, James Marsden,
James
Remar.
And it'll just keep going. And there'll be like uncredited cameos and all the rest of it. It'll be nuts.
Yeah.
It is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's wall to wall. All right, moving on to August. New Mutants, directed by Josh
Which has
Boone,
been
starring a bunch of people,
so many times,
including Maisie Williams and so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, this is a real wait and see for me.
Yeah.
We've only had the one trailer, but because like they've changed so much since then.
I don't even know if that's a representation of the movie anymore. Exactly.
Apparently not anymore. They reshot and they added in a full CGI character into the movie. They also changed the post-credit scene, which was going to be John Hamm as Mr. Sinister. They took that out of the movie and replaced it with Antonio Banderas as someone else.
Give me Mr. Sinister in a goddamn movie.
You were going to have John Hamm. They filmed it with John Hamm as
pissed
Mr.
off
Sinister,
about it.
and it's gone. And they've changed so much in the movie.
Yeah,
I'm
so
so
we really
pissed
have to
about
wait
it.
and see. That's August.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Fast and Furious spin-off Hobbs and Shaw, directed by David Leitch, starring Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham. I stopped watching Fast and Furious a while ago.
I still watch the Fast and Furious movies. I think they're still entertaining.
Somewhat, yeah.
But obviously, I think one of the best parts about the last Fast and Furious movie was the dynamic between The Rock and Jason Statham. They were fucking hilarious. So it only makes sense that they get their own spin-off movie. I just think it's really interesting that they also do spin these two characters off. Like, of all the characters you could spin off, like, I get that Jason Statham and The Rock are like the big, massive stars, and why would you not do it? But their characters are so very different that it could work because it's Jason Statham and The Rock, but I don't know if it'll work because of the characters.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
All right, moving on because Ethan's fallen asleep. Artemis Fowl, 2019, directed by Kenneth Branagh, starring Judi Dench, Josh Gad. This is another one of those
young adult
sort of things. Yeah.
This is one that I didn't even know they were working on. Like,
they've been gaffing on that for a while.
I found out after the trailer how long it had been in development. It'd been like 8 years or something that Disney were trying to get this off the ground, and then they finally have.
Yep.
It's just gonna go the same way that all other live-action Disney movies go that aren't Star Wars and Marvel. It's just gonna bomb at the box office and everyone forget about it, like Tomorrowland, The Wrinkle in Time, and everything else. Like Tron 2. I really wanted a Tron 3, but Disney fucked that up. Sorry.
You nearly said it.
Yeah, I nearly said it. I stopped myself before I did.
Alright, moving on. September, It Chapter 2. We've already spoken about that.
Yeah.
We're all looking forward to it. Yep, should be good. Downtown Abbey, obviously a movie based on the same TV series.
Yeah,
Downtown Abbey, is it?
Yep, Downtown Abbey.
Yep, Downton.
I don't give two shits. Downtown! Yeah, Downton, sorry.
Downtown Abbey.
Right,
It's Downton Abbey.
Downton.
Say it correctly, Toby.
The Abbey of Downton. Then we've got The Kitchen, starring, directed by Andrea Berloff, starring some people I've never heard of, maybe Melissa McCarthy, and pass.
I've heard this comic book is actually, it's based off a comic book. I've actually heard it's really good. But it's got Elizabeth Moss from The Handmaid's Tale, Melissa McCarthy, Domhnall Gleeson, Common, who obviously Common's a famous rapper.
He's pretty common these days.
Was in Hell on Wheels. Shut up, Ethan. But I've heard that this is going to be real. By the sounds of it, from what I've heard early, it sounds like
now,
it could
this
be
next
good.
one I know Lucas is pining for, and that's Angry Birds Movie 2.
Listen, you just signed me up for a movie with Bill Hader in it, and I'll watch it.
Starring Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Sterling K. Brown.
October.
Next.
One that Lucas is looking forward to, and I think I am too, is Zombieland 2, directed by Ruben Fleischer, starring Emma Stone, Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Abigail Breslin. So pretty much got the original cast back. Due out in October. Taken exactly, and then set 10. Oh, it's 10 years later. Really, it's taken them to get here.
I saw some indie news website trying to create a false article saying that Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray were going to be in it.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, they're trying to get that rumor going around. So it's all a bunch of shit.
Well, I mean, I'm happy for Bill Murray to be in it.
Yeah, it's a zombie this time.
Yeah, it's a real zombie. That's awesome. Gemini Man. Will Smith, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Clive Owen.
Yes, please. Give me more Mew.
Benedict Wong's in it too.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds good. We don't know much about. Do we know what it's about other than it's sci-fi? Centers on an assassin looking to exit his. Wait, no. Yeah. Exit his career as who faces.
This is just Looper.
Yeah, it's basically
just
Looper.
Fucking Looper.
A younger clone of himself.
Nah, so Looper was time travel. This is all clones.
I know, but
Yeah.
I get what you mean, though.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. One that's going to be obviously hugely interesting because we're not sure how it's going to play, but a lot of, I guess, optimism for, and that's Joker. Directed by Todd Phillips, starring Joaquin Phoenix. Nah, man. It's easy beats Robert De Niro. I'm hoping this is a return to sort of the Dark Knight, like Nolan quality of DC. I'm really hoping it is.
I hope it's the return to the fall of DC.
No. It's looking good. It's looking good. Hey, DC are up now. Aquaman's cracked a bill. I mean, they're doing well right now.
I know, but
I'm hoping this is. I'm hoping this is. I want it to be dark and gritty and I've got fingers crossed.
There's early reports coming out from Warner Brothers as well. Apparently, they think that Joaquin Phoenix is going to be like the Joker, as you know, Jack Nicholson has been the Joker for 20 years.
Well, no, I thought Heath Ledger was the Joker.
Nah, they reckon that Joaquin Phoenix did a way better job than Heath Ledger did. Like Heath Ledger, I think, hot take, but Heath Ledger was a good Joker, but Heath Ledger's Joker is only beloved because he died.
Well, if Joaquin Phoenix tops himself, it'll be a good one too.
Oh, fucking hell.
I mean, I suppose it's fair to say, but I do think it was probably Heath's best role he ever did. Like,
that's the only thing I've ever seen Heath Ledger in. I know, I've seen Brothers Grimm.
There's no debating that, but I think people look fondly back on that movie, not because it was a good Heath Ledger Joker or because it was a good Batman movie, but it was because it was one of Heath Ledger's best roles.
I honestly, I think I'm more the latter. The fact that he died doesn't really... I can watch that film and not think of that, and I just think he did an exceptionally good Joker. But it's probably not the Joker that everybody would have wanted. I mean, it was his own spin. And I think for some of these difficult roles like that, you have to make it your own, and you can't give everybody what they want. Like, it's a personal thing. And he did a good job. Alright, anyway, moving on. Addams Family. Directed by some people, starring some other people, including Charlize Theron, Chloe Grace Moretz.
This would be so good if it was live action. You got Oscar Isaac as Gomez, and it's not a live action. That's just some fucking wrong casting right there. Well, I mean, not wrong casting, but wrong fucking, like, way to do a movie. Do a live action one with Oscar Isaac as Gomez, and it's fucking perfect. You see how he looks in, like, Sucker Punch, and he's got Gomez perfectly in that.
Oh, I was about to say, I think as well, they're going back to the old, like, because Addams Family was a comic, right? Like a little comic strip or something.
Think so.
And it's
originally, I thought,
it's going to go back to like how it used to look, or like how like there used to be images that were drawn of the characters before it was kind of made into like movies and other things. But it sounds like it's going to go back to that kind of old school art style.
Yeah, it does look like it was an old cartoon, and it does look like it's going to be that art style. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like a strip comic or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Fair enough. I only remember it as the black and white TV show. I don't know what came.
I remember it from that one with what's his name from Back to the Future as Uncle Fester, Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you mean Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name. I completely blanked on his name.
Old mate. Next we got The Gold Finch, directed by John Crowley, starring Sarah Paulson, Nicole Kidman, Finn Wolfhard, Ansel Elgort, Jeffrey Wright, Luke Wilson. Adaptation of the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel that charts the life of a young teenager who survives a terrorist bombing in an art museum and eventually enters a life of crime. Okay then.
Dude, this sounds really cool. Like, this is not one that I'd heard of, but...
A bit different.
I'm just reading about it, and yeah, like, the casting for it looks awesome. Jeffrey Wright, again, another actor that can do no wrong. But also Luke Wilson, Nicole Kidman, Sarah Paulson, Dennis O'Hare. And it's also a Pulitzer Prize winner, so might have to be one I'll have to check out.
You Are My Friend, 2019, directed by Marielle Heller, starring Tom Hanks. Apparently it's going to be a tearjerker.
This is going to be brutal.
Mr. Rogers, yeah.
Yeah, the Mr. Rogers movie.
Coincidentally, his son played Mr. Rogers in the TV show as well.
Yeah.
In Drunk History, I think it was, like that. Tom Hanks' son played
it. Yeah, Colin Hanks played him in Drunk History. The first image I saw of this was Tom Hanks dressed up in the Mr. Rogers gear, and man, he looks like him. It's creepy. But this one's going to be really good. I think this is going to be one of the movies that'll get people in cinemas. Could possibly as well be an Oscar contender purely just from Tom Hanks doing a Mr. Rogers movie. That's my hot take prediction for next year already.
All right. Moving into November, we've got Charlie's Angels. Not a lot of details on this yet, but yeah.
cares?
Followed by Tim Miller's, this stage, untitled Terminator project with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, all the rest of it. Yeah, I'm keen for that. I'll go see that. At
Yeah,
cinema.
I'm on board with
Could be
this.
good.
This is the direct sequel from Judgment Day, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
This is the new Terminator 3, basically.
Yeah, and then as well, Mackenzie Davis from *Halt and Catch Fire*, amongst other
Yep.
things.
Yeah.
But
And Blade
she's
Runner
she's
2049.
fucking man, she's fucking kick-ass. So
And I believe this is
they're gonna-
designed to be a hand-down film as well, from
Yeah.
what I've read.
Yeah.
So
yeah, which if they're going to hand it over to Mackenzie Davis, fuck yes.
Yeah, and obviously, a new iteration of Terminators, I would guess.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what I'm looking forward to, and I think Jesse would be as well, and that's Death on the Nile, directed and starring Kenneth Branagh. This is the sequel
It's
to
been delayed till next
2017's Murder on the Orient Express, has it?
Yeah, it's been delayed till
okay.
next year.
Yeah.
And Gal Gadot has been cast in it. The first person to be cast in it was Gal
Oh, nice.
Gadot.
Lovely. Bit of Gal. Yeah, I really enjoyed Murder on the Orient Express, so I'll be keen to see Death on the Nile. What I'm not keen to go and see is Kingsman 3. With
That's
Matthew
been
Vaughn.
delayed for like a couple of years. They're going to do a spin-off about the star of the Kingsman instead.
Good fuck off,
Kingsman
because
3 will be
I
fucking
really
awesome,
liked
yeah.
the first one, and I just thought the second one was terrible. I really did. I know
Oh,
others
hey, look,
disagree.
it's that movie that's going to be on
Speaking
Netflix.
of terrible, Sonic the Hedgehog, directed by Jeff Fowler, starring James Marsden and Tika Sumpter.
Hot
Yep.
take movie of the year.
Universal's
You reckon it's going to
fucking
snatch it,
Netflix.
dear Lucas? You reckon
this
this
is-
is going to
this is-
snatch 2019?
Dude, this is gonna outsell Endgame and start whatever Star Wars movie comes out. Episode 9. This will outsell those by at least $3 billion.
I'm telling
Universal's
you,
going
shut
to lose
now.
faith. No,
Wait
so Paramount's going to lose faith and then fucking sell it off to Netflix instead.
No, they won't.
Wait for the YouTube Sanic, because it's happening.
Yeah,
And I'm more excited for Sanic than I am for this.
Early predictions have it making $4 billion.
Yeah, and YouTube ad raising revenue.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and what has got to be the 15th movie in 2019 starring Melissa McCarthy, which obviously just speaks to the quality of the woman's work. Margie Claus.
Can we not?
Followed
Next.
by something that
Next.
probably will get a bit of attention, is, although it's really going to come down to cast and music, Frozen 2. Directed by Chris Buck,
No
Jennifer
one
Lee. I mean,
cares.
we all saw Aladdin 2 and went, what happened here, guys?
Nah,
So-
man. The first Frozen was surprisingly good.
I've never seen it. I refuse to watch it.
It did really
Dude,
well.
It is
just-
really good.
It's really
The
going to
songs are
depend
coming-
on if this gets the same
The
sort
songs-
of budget.
Oh yeah, it
Oh,
has,
it definitely will.
Yeah.
There's no way it won't. The first one was a runaway success. Like, no, I don't think it. Even though it's a Disney movie and people expect Disney movies to do good, I don't think people expected Frozen to do as good as it did. The songs were catchy, the story was great, the casting was phenomenal.
So
All they have to do is continue the trend. Like, that's all they have to do. Just make a couple more catchy songs, and then just do a story that's a little bit better, but not a crazy amount better. Which they could easily do. Like Frozen 1, I thought was really good. So this is going to be good.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a Frozen person, but for those that enjoy it. December. All right, we're rounding it out now. Jumanji 2, which we've already spoken about, and
That's going to get delayed.
well, at the moment they've got December 13, 2019
Yeah.
listed here.
They haven't even started it. There's no way they're going to squeeze this out in like fucking 10 months.
And if they
Fuck
do,
that.
it could be nasty. Here's
Yeah.
one that I'm excited about that neither of you two will give two fists of a fuck about, and that's Masters of the Universe.
Hey!
Directed by Aaron Nee, Adam Nee, starring not applicable or not available as the case may be. Not a lot of information on this yet, other than the directors, but the Nee brothers are on the case. Could be good. Hoping it's good. See what happens.
Yeah.
And the last
that
one on
one's
this
had
list-
that one's
go on.
had a ton of
Oh,
directors
wait.
cycle through it too, eh?
Why don't they just bring Dolph Lundgren back?
Because he's old and sagging.
No, that's fine.
Well, to be fair, they had Dolph Lundgren in Aquaman, and he fucking kicked ass. So,
Yeah, see?
Nice. But, I mean...
in saying that though, I think
He-Man
they
is
want to go
bare-chest.
more I think they want to go the traditional He-Man route though with this one, which I would totally be okay
And
with.
traditionally mean just end and not have any other series after? Yeah, it's
By
good.
the power of Grayskull, I have power.
Oh, dear God. Kill me
Anyway.
now.
Anyway, and then ending the year, Star Wars Episode 9, directed by J.J. Abrams, starring the usual team. Yeah, it'll be big,
Yeah.
whether you want it to or not.
Will it though? Or has Last Jedi heard it?
Well,
It
we'll
won't
wait
make
and
any
see.
difference.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think we'll wait and see. Personally, I really enjoyed Last Jedi. I remember walking out of that movie going, wow, people are going to fucking hate this. Like, I knew instantly that it was not going to be very well received. But I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I mean, from what we can see, The Last Jedi kind of hurt Solo in terms of how much money that made. A lot of people weren't really happy with Solo. I actually fucking love Solo. I thought it was probably the best movie of the
I haven't seen it
the reboots, like the new Star Wars movies that Disney has done. I thought Solo is the best one, but we'll have to wait and see if Last Jedi's hurt Episode 9, and then as well if people who were turned off by Last Jedi who saw Solo who liked it are going to come back. So.
Something to take away from that, though, is just about it's got to be at least half of those films that I listed are either a reboot or a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're in that age now. Like that's
really
kind of that's just where we are. You know, or they're adaptations of something.
Actually, just extending that a little bit. I mean, I know we're running really low on time here, but isn't it interesting if you step back for a moment, and now that I do and look at this. Hitting the cinema, we're getting reboots and sequels, and yet if you're looking for unique and original content, we're seeing more of that on the home streaming services.
Yeah.
You know, like Bird Box and stuff like that. Like, these sorts of films are going straight to Netflix.
Bird Box was based off a novel too, wasn't it?
Possibly.
I think it was.
I'm guessing they need they need money at the cinema, whereas I guess on streaming services you can take a bit more of a risk. I guess. I mean, I'm assuming the budget is still kind of the same, but like obviously to make it. But yeah, I mean, there's been some really neat and unique content on home streaming in the last 12 months. And I guess for us, the consumer, at the end of the day, we're the ones that are lucking out here. We're spoiled because we can go see the big explosive AAA tentpole movie at the cinema. Yet if we get cravings for something original, you know, we can flick on a streaming service and sort of sing, and still get some big actors and actresses too, I might add, in these things too at home. Which I think is it's good. It's good for us. It's a good age to be alive. Well, all right. So next fortnight we'll be back. We will have the boys talking to us about Glass, no doubt,
and Toby choosing over
Titans.
Yeah.
And then I'll be binge watching Punisher. I actually doubt you two will manage to have the time to watch all of Punisher. So, and Ethan's track record on your track record on Netflix lately has been pretty ordinary. Ethan, you've kind of.
How dare you make assumptions?
No, it's true. You're indicative of the common consumer where it's like where people are just getting bored of it. Like they're just not bothering to finish.
It's not that I get bored of it. It's just my attention span's just short, and I just do something else. Yeah.
But I mean, if it was good enough, it wouldn't matter. You'd continue to consume.
I still haven't finished Daredevil yet, so
right.
Yeah.
Well, you got all the time in the world now. You got 3-4 years to enjoy that, right?
Yeah. See, it's so good.
Missing out on
No need
anything.
to rush. Nah.
But we'll be back next fortnight. We'll have all of that and more. Obviously, there'll be hopefully there'll be a bunch of trailers and other things between now and then, as well as regular TV show and movie news. Thank you very much to all of our Patreon supporters who help make this podcast possible and allow us to continue our SoundCloud Premium, Prime, whatever it is that we've got, subscription. And we'll be back next fortnight. Dun, 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 dun.